So this is the RC car that really got me into the hobby. I've had it for probably close to 5 years now, maybe. And I burnt through a couple of batteries in it. So I'm just gonna use this just generic high boxing battery to run it. It's been broken for a little while, so the motor's got kind of messed up on it. But I can show you what it's doing real quick. Get this plugged in. This battery's a little bit small for it, so like if you had the bigger battery, which I used to have, but I just burnt them up, then it runs a lot better with a big battery. Like it'll go a lot faster. But this got decent enough time to just play around with it. Turn the controller on. So you kind of hear how it's kind of squeaky. That's the motor in there. But the servo's messed up on it, so like kind of hear it just kind of like clicking. And then sometimes it'll just like dislodge itself. But we got a new servo in the mail, and we're gonna try to put that in today. It's a 5-wire servo, so you can't really get them at the hobby store. That's the only thing about these cheaper cars is you just about almost can't find any parts for them at the hobby store. Like they're not gonna have everything you want. But I will say that I rerouted the power switch into just this wire because the original one broke, and I eventually switched it up to a toggle switch up here, then that broke. So now I just have them mashed together right here. This thing doesn't have oil-filled shocks, so like it just kind of hops around the whole time in the lawn. So it kind of just, it looks like it's twerking while it's running, so it's kind of funny. But the only thing I've really broke on this thing would be the servo. This is the second servo I've gone through. And then like your little front drive shafts, they'll break if you're jumping it hard and like you hit it, like those things will get bent. So you gotta take it apart, just take 2 pliers and just do the best you can. So like I've never replaced them, but you can see, I mean, they're fairly straight, and that's after just re-straightening them multiple times. But I mean, all of these plastics are real nice and soft. So like, it's almost hard to break something on this because of how soft all the plastics are on it. So I feel like if you were gonna upgrade and do a whole lot of metal, it would make it break more often. I did put the metal gear in here, but it's the same size as the original, it's just metal. But other than taking the plastics out of the middle to give the motor more airflow, that's really the only upgrade I've done is the gear. Like I haven't really done a whole bunch. And the motor heats up when it's in the lawn, which is one reason I haven't run it all that much after it broke, is because it gets so hot that I just don't want to really break it. But we'll get this thing taken apart, see if we can get it fixed back up, and maybe go bash it a little bit. I do have this high boxing one, and when I bought it, I thought it was going to be super awesome. And it's a decent little car, but I just feel like I would have been happier buying another one of these because that's how awesome this little Wltoys car is. Like, oil-filled shocks would probably be nice in it, but it's good enough as is. So it's one of my favorite cars, probably if not my favorite car. So we'll see. I got that rock crawler. That thing's pretty dope. I will say that this thing is really hard to get into. Like, you have a lot of screws to get on this thing. Let's just see if we can get it taken apart. Yeah, it's gonna take a while. We need a different size bit. I'll tell you, the Hyper Tough bit set is the way to go for bit sets. And like, even just like the Hyper Tough little electric screwdriver, it's so handy for just taking screws out. Like, it works. Oh, I had a it's a tri bit that was in there. Must have been fixing a phone. I don't know where the tri bit goes. Yeah, it goes in that slot. Okay. That one should probably work. I would say my electric screwdriver is broke. We're gonna have to go the old school way. Yeah, it might work. Yeah, I think my electric screwdriver needs a charge. I don't think I've charged it in like a year maybe. I mean, I've only ever really used it on this car. Alright, we're totally gonna lose screws today, probably. Let's move the camera and give you a bit of a better angle on this thing. Show you how to take it apart good. Here's all your light wires. You can either unplug them or see if we can just get to it without unplugging it. So if I remember right, there's bottom mount bolts on here. So let's see if we can get a screwdriver into the end of that servo. I don't know if I have one really long enough. Try to do it quick. I'm pretty lazy. I don't want to spend all day fixing the car. Okay. Some of these screws are different sizes. So like the front two are different size. The servo ones are a different size. There we go. Now we got the servo free. So now we're just gonna grab a big screwdriver. Try to push on it real good. So we don't strip out that screw. Oh. Okay, the servo saver is trying to come off with it. Okay, there we go. Get this dude unplugged. And then make sure our new servo matches. Wltoys got this off Amazon. It's probably the same exact one as this. It looks pretty similar. So now we can take the servo mounts off this one. So servos are off-centered with themselves, so you want to make sure you just got the orientation for it right. That's the bad servo. Here's the new servo. Put that in there. One of these screws are bigger for some reason. I don't know how I messed that up. Is that screw that's the wrong size. Okay, that seems good enough. Now here's a little trick I'll show you. So, I just take this dude, wrap him around. Push some down, wrap around some more. Now we got them wires are curly, so they're not going to flop around everywhere. All these extra wires is because I was FPVing this dude at some point. It was so bouncy that I didn't really do it all that often. So we need to get the servo saver on there. Also screw this back in. And because we didn't take it all the way apart, we need to make sure that we're halfway straight. Because from the controller, you can straighten it up some. So you got your steering trim right here. Probably set that steering trim to the middle about. And then we're going to plug this guy back in. I have to replug in this battery. We'll plug in the battery after we plug in the servo. So, plug in the servo. When you plug it in, that servo will go to center. Turn this guy on. And then see about that servo. Alright, servo's in center now. So, this thing goes in here directly up. So, pop that guy in there. Not like, that's close enough to up. And then, try to like line up the little servo saver tabs on this thing. There we go. Now, if we're careful without breaking it, we can get this screw in the end of that servo. Think I broke it. Snap the screw off. So now this new servo is trash because I used the wrong screw for it. I don't know how I got that screw in the other one. But again, we won't be running this car. We might be able to save this. Oh, I don't like it. Really don't like it. Alright, I'm going to go look in my screw bin for a different screw and we're going to see what we can do to make it work. Alright. So we looked around the screw bin and we found a couple that might work. So let's see. We need one that's going to thread in there enough and also hold good. I don't know why servos don't come with screws, like that's going to be too big. We're going to have to see if we can get this one in there. I'm really not sure why servos don't come with screws that'll work for them. Or even where the original servo screw went. Because that screw that was in there was not the original screw. Oh yeah, that'll work. See if it'll even go in there good. It's awfully long. Dude, that's good. Like, that's gonna work. Okay. So, we will unplug the car. Plug our servo back in. Now plug the carb back in so that servo centers itself. Okay, servo is centered. And then this, the little notch on there was up. We're as close to up as possible. It's pretty close. And then we just kind of do some magic tricks to get the little deals in here. So like, we're trying to line up this with the mating service on this. And it's hard to see in the video, but there is one. There's a little deal on there. So that little spring will widen a little bit. That's what calls it a servo saver. I don't know if the inside of the servos have a saver on it, or if that's the only servo saver. Yeah, just kind of, there we go. Something about like that. I have no clue if you can see what I'm doing in the video, so I'm just putting it back together. Nothing crazy. Take it apart, put it together. It's kind of floppy. I asked the hobby store if they have servo savers that I can replace this with, and they just didn't really seem like they were all into servo savers all that much. I think that's lined in there. Trying to like overcome that spring to get it to line up. Yeah, see? Oh, it broke. We need a washer on it. Alright, off to go find some washers. Alright, let's go find some washers. Alright, so we found just like some random brass bushings, and we're gonna hope that works. So the other screw, I did also found a little bit bigger of a screw. This might work in here. We'll see. About to find out. I guess the servo screw on this rock crawler probably isn't all that great. I'd say not if it's lost and then you can't find another one for a servo. I don't know if there's like a special screw pack I need or what, but I mean, just digging around in the garage, just trying to figure out what I got laying around that'll work. Starting to bottom out again. Yeah, we're going to have to go with that shorter screw. If this was a hobby grade car, I could just go on down to the hobby store and just go get a part for it that was made for it. We broke that screw too. And I think we lost our bushing. No, our brass bushings are up in there. Gonna get it out though. Trial and error. We'll eventually get this car fixed. Maybe. We'll see. Is this screw locking that in there so hard I can't pry that off in there? Yeah, kind of. Guess I'll just be mean to it. Alright, we have now broken 2 screws that aren't right. Maybe this screw will work. We might be able to run this car. I really just wish I had a new servo and a new servo saver. Like, I don't know, it's just the servo saver and the end of the servo that's messing up. There ain't nothing else wrong with it. Oh, I just dropped the screw. Okay, try this again. This was going to turn into a quick fix. Definitely thought it was going to be a quick fix. Turning into quite the ordeal. Third time's a charm, eh? I think. Yeah, I think that's it. Make sure that's tight enough. Kind of just hurt a brand new servo by just busting screws off inside of it. Alright, so get this thing put back down in there where it goes. There's like little pins that it sits in. So it's going to sit in 2 pins and then have 2 screws to hold it in place. We're going to call this good enough. Unplug this battery. Maybe the last servo malfunctioned just because it was screwed in so hard because we didn't have the right screw last time. Which 2 screws were for the servo? Oh no. I think it's this one, maybe? This battery's dead. I'll have to grab a fresh battery, or a fresher battery than this one. So this is all trash. Broke off screws. Had quite the time trying to get this car fixed. So let's go take it outside.